What's going on, guys? Hopefully, everyone's having an awesome week. I know it's been a long time since I've done a live here in this group because if you had seen over kind of towards December of last year and then the first couple months of this year, we actually moved from Facebook to another platform that has been awesome. I think we're up to like 250 members in there. So wherever you're watching this, there should be a link to join that free community where I do pretty consistently videos like this for the members in there. And so far the feedback has been tremendous. But I wanted to jump in here to one remind you of that and join that free community. Would love to have you in there. And then secondly, get on here and share something real quick that I believe is important. And I shared this with our clients end of last week, and I had definitely a handful reach out where they said what I had talked about really resonated with them and really helped kind of change their perspective when it comes to this all or nothing mindset that sabotages so many within their health and fitness journey. Okay, and I'll dive in. I don't expect too many people here to be on the live, but um, I've done this for 7 years. I've probably done 15,000 consultation calls with individuals, and we've worked with almost 3,000 women one to one in our coaching program over 7 years. So, based on that experience, I've seen a lot, I've heard a lot, I've experienced a lot. And one thing that commonly comes up is so many people struggle with this all or nothing mindset, and it's like if they can't have a perfect week or they have this perfectionist type mentality where they can't get everything done or they can't meal prep all their meals, it's like they default to doing nothing, and it's just this roller coaster. They do well for a couple weeks, life happens, and they get into a rut. They do well for a couple weeks, get into a rut, and then sabotage their progress. It's constantly feeling like you're on this roller coaster where you're taking 3 steps forward and then 3 steps back, and then 6 months, 12 months, a year, a decade goes by, and you're literally in the exact same spot. You still have the 50 pounds to lose. You're still on blood pressure medication. You still have high cholesterol. Nothing changes. You have little bursts where you do well for a couple weeks, maybe even a few months, but then life happens. You derail yourself, and then you fall back to square one all over again. All right. So here's something to think about, and this is kind of a perspective or mindset that we talk with our clients often, is because look, guys, life happens, and you've heard me talk about this where I say, and I do truly believe this to my core, that people who get fit and stay fit, they find a way to be consistent even when life isn't convenient. People that struggle, and if you're here where you really struggle, I'm probably willing to bet that you're only consistent when life is convenient, which is the problem, right? What I mean by this is real world examples. I just had a woman right now who just like an hour ago was going to book a call with us, but then they said, oh, we're doing home renovations. Things are really crazy right now. I might have to like punt this out a couple months. And, it's her life. Like, I'm not here to, well, I am here in some ways to like change your perspective, I guess, but I'm not here to like push anybody over the edge and tell them that that's silly or stupid or that's their problem. But like, that's really why she has stuck. In our conversation, she said she's been struggling with weight for quite some time. And obviously right now she's in a season of her life where they're doing home renovations. But after that, it's probably going to be, summer break and her kids are off. And then it's going to be going back to school, shopping, and really busy. Like, there's always something, and people will start to justify these things in their head, and then like I said, decades could go by and you're still stuck in the same spot that you've always been, and nothing has changed. And it's a common place to be mentally. Things happen, job changes, moves, relationship issues, kids get busy, you have kids, family issues, your parents' health, your grandparents' health, your sisters, your brothers, like there's always chaos, and people that are fit, regardless of what's going around or what's going around as far as their external circumstances, they always will tend to be consistent and still make their health and fitness a priority despite what's going on. And then people that are struggling, like as soon as they have a little bit of friction, it could be as big as like a death in the family, or it could be a little hangnail. It's all relative, and then everything in between. But it's like, soon as they're dealt with a little adversity or challenges, the wheels come off, and then they sabotage their progress. All right. So enough of the rant. Here's a perspective that I shared with clients that I feel like might help you. Okay. So I want you to think about your health and fitness like you would a bank account, like a savings account at the bank. And you constantly, maybe every week, every 2 weeks, every month when you get paid, you try to put a little bit aside in there. And Warren Buffett, who's probably the greatest investor of all time, said what the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. Like, it takes a long time to build up wealth, but if you're constantly, chipping away and saving money, like over a year and 5 years, 10 years, you're looking at an account and be like, oh my gosh, I've come so far from where I first started, right? The problem is with fitness is people are like, well, I'm only going to start investing money when I have $1 million in cash. It's like that doesn't make any sense. But what it's essentially saying in fitness is like, yeah, I'm only going to make my fitness a priority when life isn't crazy busy or stressful, or I don't have a lot of things going on. That might be a very convenient story to tell yourself, but like, as we know in reality, that's never the case. Okay. So to make this tactical for you and to change your perspective here is, think of your health and fitness like making deposits, and the most that you can make, if you have a perfect day health and fitness, let's pretend it's $100 you can put into your health and fitness as far as a deposit goes. And that's when things are going really well. But the reality is life's going to happen. Your kids are going to get sick. You're going to have to go into the office one day for a meeting, or, boss puts a Zoom call, or you're going to have to take a trip, or you got to travel, or, there's a million different things that can go on where you might not always be able to put $100 into your health and fitness. But maybe some days you can put a $20 bill or a $10 bill or a $5 or a dollar or a nickel or a dime. And what I mean by this is, like, let's say you plan on going to the gym over lunch and getting an hour workout in. You plan on lifting, doing cardio, doing abs. You had this all planned out. You're going to get a tremendous workout in. But you woke up that morning and your 5-year-old son has to stay home because he's sick and has a cold. So now you can't leave him at home and go to the gym during your lunch hour. Some people would be like, well, my kid's sick today and I got to work from home and there's just no way I can do anything. Just because you can't do everything or what you plan doesn't mean you default to nothing. Maybe, if your kid takes a little nap, maybe you could just go for a walk for 15 minutes around your neighborhood, right? At least move your body in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, it might not be going to the gym and getting an hour and a half workout like you originally planned. That might have been equivalent to like $100 deposit. Maybe you go for a walk and that's like putting a $5 bill deposit into your health and fitness, okay? That's just an example, but that's how I would look at this. But what happens is people either want to put 100 in or they don't want to put anything in. And over the long run, the person that consistently is even putting $1 or $5 in each and every day, at least doing something and moving their body in some way, shape, or form, in the long run, they're going to have way more richness when it comes to their health and fitness versus that person that has that all or nothing. It's either 100 or nothing, right? And again, I'm speaking metaphorically here, like not actual dollar amounts or whatever, but I think you hopefully understand the point, okay? But if you just approach it like this and say like, hey, yep, I know crap happened today. I can't do what I originally planned, but maybe I can get a quick walk in. Maybe I can spend 10 or 15 minutes and really doing, some long static stretching, do some mobility work, right? Maybe I can just do, 100 air squats and 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups. As long as you're thinking like that and you're continually focused on making progress and taking at least a baby step forward. You might not always be able to take huge strides every single day. Like I said, now 5 times on this call, life happens. But as long as you're taking steps in the right direction, as long as you're consistently making positive deposits into your health and fitness, I promise you in the long run, you'll wake up one day and have a very rich life when it comes to your health and fitness. And that's really how you break this all or nothing mindset, because some days you can't do everything, but that doesn't mean you default to nothing. We talk to our clients about raising their standard when they're working with us. Let's raise your standard. Just because you can't do everything doesn't mean you do nothing. Let's still do something. So what that might mean some weeks, instead of doing 5 workouts, let's just do 2, okay? Or instead of working out for an hour, and going to the gym, let's make your workouts at home 15, 20 minutes, super short. Maybe let's add in one, longer walk, and then we'll kind of reassess things next week and see what next week looks like. Okay. Again, these are just examples, but this is what we actually are doing with our one-to-one coaching clients. And when we can get someone to start looking at things through this lens and through this perspective, it helps, chip away at that all or nothing mindset, and they're focused on getting 1% better every day. They're focused on taking at least a baby step in the right direction. And that's really how long term you make sustainable change when it comes to your health and fitness, and demolish that all or nothing mindset that really sabotages a lot of people and their results. All right. So hopefully that was beneficial. Wherever you're watching this, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. And we'll see you on the next one. We'll see you guys. Peace.